Hi, and welcome to a Life Soul podcast, where we explore personal growth, high performance, and intentional living. I am Wasim Balani, and I believe life isn't just about getting through the day, it's about becoming fully alive in everything we do. Through my journey, whether in medicine as a heart rhythm cardiologist, cycling and running, or personal development, I have learned that success isn't just about reaching goals, but about who we become along the way. This podcast is here to inspire and challenge you to push your limits, cultivate discipline, and live with purpose. Join me each week as we dive into ideas, reflections, and practical strategies to help you grow into your best self. So let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a Life Soul podcast. Thank you for being here, for tuning in, for listening, and most of all, thank you for taking this growth journey with me. And thank you for showing your better self, even just pressing play. You're choosing to reflect, to grow, and to become more intentional about how you live. That matters, it really does. Let me share with you something that has been on my mind lately. I've been genuinely trying to be more mindful of how I show up. Whether it's at work with my patients, at home with my family, or just in the quiet everyday moments, I've been asking myself, am I showing the best version of me? Not the rushed, the tired, the reactive version, not the just get through the day version, but the version that's grounded, thoughtful, intentional. And I'll be honest, I don't always succeed. There are plenty of days when I fall short, when I'm distracted, impatient, or just moving too fast to notice what matters, when I'm physically present but not fully there. But over time, I made a commitment to myself, not to be perfect, not to always get it right, but to be more intentional about trying, to at least pause even just for a moment and ask, how do I want to show up here? Is this the version of me I want to bring into this space? Sometimes the answer is yes, and that feels aligned. But sometimes it's not. And I catch myself, I reflect, and I try again. Because to me, that's growth. It's not about being flawless. It's not about being perfect. It's about being aware and being willing to improve. And recently, I had an interaction with one of my patients that reminded me why this matters. Why choosing to show your best, even in small moments, can make a real difference. She came to see me in the office. She was one of my regular patients, someone I see for a heart rhythm issue. From the cardiology standpoint, she was doing well, very stable. On paper, everything looked fine. But something about her that day felt off. Her voice was quiet. She wasn't smiling as much. There was a heaviness in her presence, one I could not ignore. Now, I could have just gone the usual route. Your test looks good. See you in the next 6 months. But something inside of me said, pause, ask, be human. So I did. I looked at her and gently asked, can I ask you how you're feeling? Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally. And that one question opened the door. She told me she had recently lost her husband. She was still grieving. And on top of that, her son just survived a brain bleed. She was worried about him, overwhelmed, caring more than I could have imagined. So I sat with her for a few extra minutes. I told her how sorry I was for her loss, and that I understand her worry. But I also reminded her of something else, that her son was recovering, that she was doing well physically, and despite everything, there were still blessings, still reasons to hope. And as I said those words, I saw her face change. The tension softened. She smiled. She said thank you, not just for the care, but for noticing, for asking, for going just a little further. And then I walked away with this warm sense of joy in my heart because I knew that moment mattered. That's what going the extra mile is all about. It's not about going something huge or dramatic. It's about doing just a little more than expected. A kind word, a moment of presence, a thoughtful question. To us, it might feel small, To someone else, it might mean the world. That conversation probably only added few minutes to my day. But to her, it was more than just a check in. It was a moment of compassion, a pause that made her feel seen. Maybe even a reminder that she wasn't alone in what she was carrying. And sometimes that's all it takes. A few sincere words to change the way someone feels about their day or about themselves. To soften the weight they're holding, even if just for a moment, to breathe in a little more hope, to feel a bit more grounded, more human, more cared for. The truth is, many people had gotten used to doing the bare minimum: clock in, clock out, say the right words, hit the checklist, move on. And I get it. We're all busy. We're all tired. But I also believe this. Sometimes ordinary isn't enough. Sometimes it is not okay to be just okay, especially when someone else is hurting or going through something silently. Sometimes what makes the biggest difference is when someone chooses to step it up a notch when they don't have to. See, it's easy to blend in with the noise, to do what everyone else is doing, to keep it surface level. But what if we didn't? What if we chose to play higher, to live, love, work, and serve with just a little more heart? And that's the mindset I've been trying to cultivate. Show your best. Not because everyone is watching, not because you'll be rewarded, but because it's who you want to be. That better version of yourself. And I've realized it doesn't take much. Sometimes it's just pausing before you rush out the door, giving your child a little more eye contact, your partner a little more patience, asking a colleague how they're really doing, taking a few more minutes with someone who simply needs to feel seen and heard. These things don't require massive effort, but they do require intention, and that intention creates real impact. Sometimes what sets you apart isn't talent or intelligence, it's your willingness to care a little more, to try a little harder, to bring your full heart into the room. Because one act of random kindness, just one, can go a long way. It can have a ripple effect into someone in ways you may never see. It can shift someone's mindset, soften their pain, or restore a bit of hope they were about to lose. And if each of us decided to offer just one small act of care every day, without needing applause or recognition, we would create a world that feels just a little warmer, a little more connected, a little more human. And that's how change happens. Not all at once, not through grand gestures, but through one act of random kindness at a time. One moment of presence, one decision to show up with just a little more love than we did yesterday. So here's what I want to leave with you today. Don't play low. Don't aim for just enough. Don't settle into the same rhythm of mediocrity that the world often normalizes. Because the truth is, just enough is crowded. Everyone is doing the bare minimum. Everyone is rushing, reacting, surviving. But the extra mile, that space when you choose to be thoughtful, when you don't have to be, where you choose to listen deeper, speak kinder, lead stronger, that place is wide open, and it's where you'll start to feel a deeper sense of fulfillment. Because what you will find when you go the extra mile is this: yes, you will impact others more deeply. Yes, you will leave a mark that lingers. Maybe more importantly, you'll start becoming someone you're truly proud of. So, show your best, even if it's just 1% improvement from yesterday. Even if it feels small or goes unnoticed, show it in how you speak, with honesty, with presence, with intention. Show it in how you carry yourself, with quiet strength, with grace, with conviction. Show it in how you show up for your work, for your family, and for the growth you're committed to, even when no one's watching. Because those little seemingly invisible efforts, they compound, they build momentum, they become your character. And over time, they're what makes you unforgettable, not just to others, but to yourself. So don't play low. Lift your standard, show up with intention, and keep choosing to be someone who brings light, effort, and care into a world that deeply needs it. Because this world doesn't need more people just getting through the day, it needs more people who rise into it. So rise, champion, Show your best, because the better version of you, the one you're becoming, isn't waiting for perfection, it's waiting for you to take action, to show up fully every single day. And always remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present, real, and just willing to go the extra inch. So keep showing your best, go the extra mile, and never settle for playing small, because someone out there needs exactly what only you can give. That's it for this episode, my friends. Thank you for tuning in. And if you like this message, please share it with someone around you, because we all grow better when we do it together. I'll see you in the next episode.